Hi everyone, Jess here, and today I'm joined with Sami Jauhiainen, Vice President of APAC and Renewable Aviation Business Unit at Neste. Thank you for joining me today, Sami.
Thank you very much, happy to be here.
That's great. Can you tell me more about your Singapore expansion project and its significance for your global production capacity?
So Neste has been producing renewable fuels, renewable diesel in particular in Singapore already since 2010. But what we are carrying out at the moment is an expansion of that refinery, which will double its total capacity and introduce Neste the capability to produce up to 1 million tons of sustainable aviation fuels here in Singapore. And that will make Singapore and that facility the world's largest sustainable aviation fuel production facility in the world.
Amazing.
And grow Neste's capability to produce sustainable aviation fuels tenfold and increase significantly our ability to support aviation here in Asia Pacific as well as globally.
Fantastic, because we hear a lot about demand for sustainable aviation fuel and it's spoken about a lot, but one thing that's been highlighted is maybe the supply not keeping up with the demand. So these big projects are very important for.
Yeah, no, it's definitely what we see happening is that there is a greater awareness, of course, of aviation's contribution to climate change, and then of course awareness of sustainable aviation fuels as a solution that is available today to start reducing those emissions, and that's very positive. Of course, the main challenge that we continue to have is that sustainable aviation fuel is more expensive than conventional jet fuel. There is a green premium to be paid for the industry to transition to more sustainable fuels. So what we will need is either the willingness of aviation end users to pay for that cost, to reduce their carbon footprint and enable airlines to use more sustainable aviation fuels, or we will need policies from the governments requiring that everyone needs to take these solutions into use for reducing their emissions.
Absolutely, and perhaps it will take a mixture of both, or a meeting halfway.
Probably so. Probably so.
So sticking with the APAC region, how have you seen partnerships develop in the APAC region to reduce emissions, and what is driving these?
So what we have seen is that the leading carriers in the region have been willing and interested to be front runners and showing example in taking sustainable aviation fuels into use. We as Neste made our first deliveries of SAF to Asia Pacific already in October 2020 to ANA in Japan in collaboration with our partner in Japan, Itochu Corporation. Since then, we have made, together with Itochu, our sustainable aviation fuel available to a broader range of domestic and visiting carriers in Japan. Last year, we made our first deliveries of SAF to Singapore Airlines, to Changi in collaboration with ExxonMobil, to Malaysia Airlines in collaboration with Petronas, and then also to Air New Zealand, to Auckland, together with Z Energy. So we have, it's a very positive momentum that we have now ahead of starting actually producing sustainable aviation fuel here in Singapore and having much more expanded capability to support the aviation in the region.
Amazing. And we touched on it a bit earlier, but if we could perhaps go into more detail.
Yeah.
What do we need to see for SAF to be more widely adopted in the region?
Well, if we look at Asia Pacific relative to Europe or North America, I think we still have a lot of work to do on that awareness side. You know, creating awareness that SAF is available as a solution, and then through that, help the industry to move forward, taking SAF into use, developing the supply chains that make it available in the airports, and then ultimately driving those policies that either incentivize the use of sustainable aviation fuels or create these kind of policies that establish minimum requirements for sustainable aviation fuels in the key hubs in the region. this is a very globally interconnected industry, so it will be very important for the aviation hubs and the governments to collaborate and coordinate their efforts in driving this transition in the industry.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you very much.